sure this is at a good angle first. I'll get the sound on in a moment. This mic has a dent in it now. Don't ask why. I'm going to check the stream. All right, we do have sound. It is picking up from the mic. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 12 of 2KU Saturdays. Today we are live for our game between Boise State and TCU. As the description says, we're going to have a great one. This is the first time that Boise and TCU have ever met as top 5 opponents. We'll get to the roster in just one moment. Yeah, we'll get started momentarily. Let's get to the rosters first. We have a lot of big games this week. The biggest one, that being in the Big East, the Big East championship is now decided. UConn getting a win over UMass. The Huskies are going to New Jersey to take on the Temple Owls in the championship game. Both teams likely to have 10 wins in that game. Other big clinches around the league. We have some divisions that will be going down to the wire. The Big 12 North is still wide open after Kansas falls to Missouri and Colorado gets a win over Baylor. So that will be down to the last week. Kansas needs to win against Kansas State, and they need Colorado to lose. Another division going down to the wire will be the Conference USA West. The CUSA West has now a 2-horse race since Memphis beat Southern Miss. Memphis will be playing a game that week, but their big opponent they'll have to be rooting for Rice because they need Houston to lose to the Rice Owls in order to make the Conference USA Championship game. Well, let's get to the biggest game of the week, the one we'll be playing tonight. This could decide not only who goes to the Mountain West title game, but who goes to the national championship game. Number 2, Boise State. Number 4, TCU. If I cough a lot, I got over COVID last week, and I just had my my vaccine yesterday, so I'm still sort of symptomatic from all that, but I was pessimistic on whether or not I'd be able to stream tonight, but I am able to. I'm here. You're here. Let's get on our way. We'll start with the rosters for this game. Cameron Yates is our starter, the Davey O'Brien Award nominee, as well as being nominated for the Maxwell Award, a redshirt senior from Upland, California. At running back, Javari Johnson, the redshirt sophomore, a Doak Walker finalist, and a Heisman Trophy finalist as well. They'll be joined by Aaron Dickens, the junior from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Scott Ray, the freshman from Buena Park, California. And Derek Smith, the fullback from Pomona, California, a redshirt sophomore. A star-studded wide receiver core led by Javon Bell, the sophomore from University Park, Texas. Travis Garcia, a redshirt senior from Kelso, Washington. Evan Davis, a redshirt junior from Havre, Montana. And Matt Tate, the junior from Weiser, Idaho. There you go. You see some James Smith all the way from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, a redshirt senior. Tight end, we have Peter Sparks, the sophomore from Modesto, California. Left tackle, Ron Mitchell, redshirt senior from Santa Ana, California. Left guard, Samuel Dixon, redshirt senior from Salmon, Idaho. The center, TJ Lacey, a redshirt senior from Gooding, Idaho. Redshirt senior from Winnemucca, Nevada, Sam Sampson. And at right tackle, rounding up the offense, Cornelius Poole, the redshirt sophomore from Copperas Cove, Texas. On defense, the left end, Sam Martin, redshirt junior from Dana Point, California. At right end, Mike Schroeder, redshirt sophomore from Vidor, Texas. At defensive tackle, Mark Thomas, redshirt sophomore from Palo Alto, California. Rodney Riley, the redshirt senior from Kitchener, Canada. And Pete Smith, the junior from South Whittier, California. At linebacker, left outside linebacker, Orlando Means, the redshirt junior from Salmon, Idaho. Aaron Harris, the junior from San Buenaventura, California. James Lindsay at right outside linebacker, the sophomore from Santa Maria, California. At corner, we have redshirt senior Paul Mayhew from Douglas, Arizona. Ryan Lawrence from La Mesa, California, the redshirt junior. Brad Hamby Jr. from Soda Springs, Idaho. And Jimmy Johnson, no relation, the redshirt junior from Goldenrod, Florida. At free safety, Steve Abrams Jr. from Rialto, California. At strong safety, Luis Simmons, a redshirt junior from Halawa, Hawaii. At kicker, Brian McMahon from Beverly Hills, California. That's where I want to be. And at punter is Gerald Cleveland, a Ray Guy nominee, the redshirt senior from Forest Grove, Oregon. If you remember, Boise State was on this program before. You saw them in their game against Oregon back in week 4. This is their second time on 2KU. We'll check them out. But right now, we got to check out who they'll be playing against. The TCU Horned Frogs, the number 4 team in the country, led by Heisman Trophy finalist Avery McKay, the redshirt senior from San Antonio, Texas. Joe Douglas is a sophomore from West University, Texas. He's your running back. Gerald Weatherford, the redshirt sophomore from Wiley, Texas. Don't forget to check out. We got Steve Barnes from Harlingen, Texans, maybe played as well. Matt Tyson, the lead receiver, a junior from Big Spring, Texas, joined by Kevin Gilliam, freshman, redshirt from Wiley, Texas. Barrett Bryant, a redshirt sophomore from Stafford, Texas, and Justin Gray, a redshirt sophomore from Maitland, Florida. The tight end is Mike Cooper, the redshirt junior from Conroe, Texas. Left tackle, as we move to the offensive line, is Lance Marshall, a redshirt junior from South Houston. The left guard from Colleyville, Texas, a redshirt senior, Josh Cabral. At center, Chad Rivero, a sophomore from Pasadena, Texas. The right guard is Derek Boyd, a redshirt senior from Rio Grande City, Texas. And wrapping up, Patrick Cooley, the redshirt senior from La Porte, Texas. We'll move on to the defensive side of the ball. Josh Brown, the left end, the true sophomore from Claiborne, Louisiana. Mike Davis, a sophomore from Stafford, Texas, is your right end. At defensive tackle, you have Ryan Tremblay, a redshirt sophomore from Coweta, Oklahoma. Scott Kelly, a junior from Patterson, Louisiana. And Tom Simon, a redshirt junior from Burke Burnett, Texas. On the linebacking core, left outside linebacker Marquez Lamb, a redshirt junior from Bay City, Texas. The middle linebacker Eric Young, a redshirt junior from Vidor, Texas. The right outside linebacker is Pedro Kramer, the redshirt junior from Edinburgh, Texas. We do have a headline coming soon about a school in Edinburgh, Texas, but we'll get to that. On the secondary, cornerback Victor Clark, a true senior from Oakland, California. Justin Rose, a redshirt junior from Georgetown, Texas. Travis Miller, a senior from Rendon, Texas. Joseph Meade, a redshirt sophomore from Violet, Louisiana, wraps it up. The free safety is Aaron Turner, a true senior from Victoria, Texas. The strong safety, Brian Kempe, a redshirt junior from Fort Bliss, Texas. We move to the special teams. Drew Jackson, the kicker from Schertz, Texas. And the punter, Ryan Wise, a sophomore from Stephenville, Texas. That's a wrap on the rosters. So now we'll get ready for the game. Danny, how are you? Welcome to the stream. We're playing in Fort Worth. This game is a rivalry according to this, but it's not labeled. It doesn't have a name at least. Here's where we're going purple chrome. We're going to go the purple top, the black pants. Black socks and shoes. Boise, we're going to go the 11 blue. We'll go the orange. Oh, what happened earlier today, Danny? It's a good look. Oh, y'all lost your senior game? To who? Oh, in Navy. We're going 6 minutes. There's no snow in Texas. There's very little. Set it like that. Nice. Let's get into the game. The conference championship race. The Big East is clinched. I did mention this before you got here, Danny. I was talking about the Big East is clinched, and we have 2 big races going to the final week in the Conference USA and the Big 12. A team unclinched? Who unclinched? As we see TCU taking the field. The number 4 team in the country. They'll be playing number 2 in Boise State. Georgia Southern got the... Western Carolina is in the lead. Georgia Southern is no longer in the lead in the SoCon. They can clinch it again, though, if they get a win over... Or if App State gets a win over Western Carolina next week. Pigberry, you'll be tuning in for that. But this is the big game today. The game calls them 17-18. They're 2-4, respectively. Give us the stat rundown as we're underway. Boise gets it first. He'll take a knee in the end zone for a touchback. Javari Johnson, the Heisman Trophy finalist. Don't forget to stay tuned. Week 15 is when we'll reveal the Heisman Trophy winner. Week 14, rather. Pardon me. On 2KU Weekly. There's a short throw. Broken up. Victor Clark. I thought that was almost picked off. A pick six would have been an incredible way to start for TCU. Here's Yates throwing. Wide open. First down. James Smith. These are the top two offenses in the country. Boise State's number one. TCU is second. And both of these teams have top five defenses as well. Here's 1st and 10. The handoff to the fullback, I believe that is. That's Travis Garcia, actually. That's the tight end. We'll get 5 on the play as we're already near midfield. Yates in the pocket. He'll throw. Has a man. First down. Travis Garcia. If everything plays out as it has, one of these teams is going to the national championship game. Here's the handoff to Johnson. He won't get anything. As we go under 5 minutes in the first. Already in TCU territory, only a minute into the game. Yates and Maxwell finalists. There's a throw wide open. That's number 2 of Evan Davis. First down inside the 10. Found a hole in the coverage. First down, Broncos. Ignore those Big 12 logos, by the way. This is a Mountain West versus Mountain West matchup. Here's Yates throwing over the middle. Oh, big hit. Javon Bell gets the 7-yard gain. As you may remember, Boise has been here before. They got a win on the road against Oregon on this series before. Inside the 5-yard line, I'd say about the 2. It's 2nd and goal. Can Boise punch it in? Yates throwing short. Touchdown, Evan Davis. The Broncos are on the board. Surgical precision Boise uses to cut through the TCU defense. What's the PAT? Is up and good. And we need an end zone for the touchback. TCU gets it after the second half, which might be an advantage in this game. I predicted going back and forth. Handoff, breaks a tackle. That's Joe. No, that's not Joe Douglas. This is Lee Langford with the 4-yard game. Avery McKay, a Heisman finalist, is in the pocket. He'll be moving to the NFL after this year. He'll run it himself. First down inside the 40. First and 10 from their own 43-44. Keeper for McKay. Oh, and he's got room to run. Down to the 35. 21-yard gain for the redshirt senior. It's a very running back heavy Heisman finalist. Avery McKay looks to be the most likely quarterback to take home the trophy. Next, he'll throw this one, and he's got a first down to Matt Tyson. Handoff. That one was to Lee Langford, and it'll lose too. Aaron Harris gets the TFL. 3 minutes to go in the first. McKay has to back up. Throwing on a screen, and that won't go anywhere. Lee Langford will lose 3. That's a handoff. There's Joe Douglas. He'll get 3 yards. And they'll try a field goal. This one from about 40. A 40-yarder on the way and good. TCU on the board. It goes back to Boise now. Taking for a touchback. Yates with plenty of time. He'll throw this one. Oh, what a catch! Travis Garcia. Top play. Here's a keeper for Cameron Yates. And he's got a first down and more. To the 40. He'll be brought down to the 35 on a 26-yard option run.
Once he saw that hole, he turned it upfield and left everybody in the dust. We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line.
Pressure coming. He'll just throw this one out of bounds. Danny, who does Boise State close out their season with? I know TCU has a very tough game ahead of them, even after this, against Baylor. There's a throw. Good catch by Matt Tate for 8 yards.
It's 3rd down. They're about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
2 to go. Ball at the 20 or 27. Option play. It'll be wrapped up for a loss. Josh Brown gets the TFL, and that'll probably force a field goal. This one's from about 46 yards out, and it is good. Yeah, Boise State closes against New Mexico. Meanwhile, TCU has Baylor to end their schedule. Another touchback.
And while they are behind, they know they can knock things up in a heartbeat. It's way too early to change the game plan.
Here's McKay throwing short, caught. Now we have 4-yard gain on the throw to Justin Gray.
2nd and 6. Ball at 29.
Handoff, loss of 3 yards to the handoff to Lee Langford. TCU has not converted a third down today. They're 0 for 1. McKay throwing this one. He's got a man wide open, and he's going to go the distance. 20, 10-5, touchdown, TCU. Matt Tyson. The utter bomb. He breaks off coverage, gets the throw from McKay, and he's gone. 74-yard drive on only 3 plays. And the PAT is good. And now it's Boise's turn to respond. We're 10-10 as the clock's about to run out on the first quarter, 26 seconds to go. He'll throw that one out of bounds. Second and 10. Plenty of time. He'll throw this one up there. Oh, and it's caught. Oh, and he dropped it. It was actually caught by the defensive back, Scott Stevens, but he dropped it. 0 for 1 on third down. Do they have TCU's luck? Throwing this one up. He's got a man. Still going. He'll be down at the 38. Travis Garcia having an amazing game for the Broncos. We're over 100 yards in the first quarter as the clock will run out. We're 1 quarter. I've been waiting for a game like this. We're 10-10 after 1. At the TCU 39, we're at the second quarter. Yates backing up. Screenplay, but that won't go anywhere. A loss of 2 for Johnson.
From the 41-yard line, it's second down.
Throwing this one over the middle. First down. James Smith with the reception. 16 yards on the play. It's the old scalpel versus sledgehammer this game. 7 first downs to TCU's 3. Here's the handoff. Aaron Dickens gets 4 on the play.
From the 21-yard line, second down.
The Missouri Valley Championship, as Danny says, is decided. North Dakota State will take on Northern Iowa for the chip. Oh, what a big hit on Aaron Dickens. That's Brian Kemp with the TFL.
This is the 8th play of this drive.
5 minutes to go in the half. Third and 8. Inside TCU's red zone. Here's a deep bomb. The end zone touchdown, Boise. Travis Garcia. Yeah, Northern Iowa will take on North Dakota State. Remind me how the first version of that game when they played before this season. As we're now 17-10 here in Fort Worth. That kick is deep. And they'll take it out of the end zone for the first time today. Oh, but he stumbles. Jamar Parsons will get to about the 30. He tripped over his own man. Or pardon me, he get to the 20. McKay, play action. Throwing this one, a dart, incomplete. Almost picked off by Brad Hamby. Northern Iowa lost to North Dakota State on the road last time these two played. Throwing this one short. I believe that's the fullback. That's Mike Cooper. So the fullback or tight end. It'll be 3rd and 3. Avery McKay is 5 for 6. Passing it. TCU 1 for 2 on 3rd down. Option keeper. Oh, and he's brought down for a loss. Rodney Riley. That was a surefire gain if he wasn't there. And they'll punt it. The first punt of the game. And what a punt it is. Taking to the 30-yard line. They'll get to the 45.
Boise State is up by a touchdown.
There's a throw. A 16-yard gain to Wesley Clark. Broncos trying to go up 2 scores. They're in TCU territory. On the screen pass, that is Johnson. He'll get a yard. We're at the point of the year where all the pieces are starting to fall into place for the college football postseason. As there's a dart over the middle, 1st down. Matt Tate gets the first.
That one goes for good yardage and a 1st down. Yeah, that's just a nice gain on 2nd down. 1st and 10. Ball on the 26-yard line.
There's a catch. Javari Johnson gets 9. Hasn't run much today. They're going to need him as much as they can get him in the national championship game if they go to it. But they got to win tonight. As there's the handoff to Johnson, just enough for the first.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 15.
Pressure. Dickens will be wrapped up for a loss on the play. 2nd and 14. Boise scores, then TCU is the run. 3rd and 4. Aaron Dickens gets 10 yards. If Boise scores, there may be just enough time for TCU to get down the field and score a touchdown, or maybe score either a touchdown or a field goal to close the gap. As there's the short throw, brought down for a loss. Johnson made the reception, but he'll lose a yard. And they're running with Turner. And they'll try a short field goal. They made a 46-yard earlier. They'll let the clock run. Both teams have all of their timeouts. I would have expected TCU to call one here, so they have as much time as they can to potentially get this game within a score before halftime, but they'll let it run. This one from about 20 yards, 26 yards is good. TCU will have 1:14 to go. They do get the ball back after halftime.
The offense is looking to be a little bit more successful with this drive as they had to punt the ball away the last time they had it.
There's a dart over the middle for a first down, Matt Tyson. Is there Super Frog? Salutes.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 37.
A minute to go. McKay alone in the pocket. Pressure coming. He'll throw it. Intercepted, but he can't stay in bounds. It'll be an incompletion. 54 seconds to go. They're going to review it.
So the referee is going to take a look at several angles. Now remember, he's seeing the same thing we are.
Simmons caught it, but was he in bounds? No. I don't think he was. I think that was an incompletion. Oh, interception. Oh, no. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong person. Pardon me. Completion TCU. I made a mistake. I thought Simmons caught a pick. There's a big hit, but it's an incompletion. 51 seconds ago. 3rd and 2. Danny mentioning, of course, the legendary Hypno Toad. Praise be. Here's 3rd and 2. Option play. McKay will keep it. He'll get to midfield. Timeout. Horned Frogs. 47 seconds to go. I see TCU get another first down, kicking a field goal. They get the ball back at halftime. There's the throw to Barrett Bryant. Timeout TCU. They have one timeout remaining. They try some shots at the end zone. And if not, they get a field goal, and then they go for it when they get the ball back in the second half. As there's a throw. First down. TCU. Matt Tyson, the big receiver for the Horned Frogs. 33 seconds to go. McKay, play action. First down. Down to the 5-yard line. Justin Gray with the reception. McKay. Throwing to the end zone. Touchdown! But there's a flag on the play. Offensive illegal touching. A great catch, but it won't stand. They'll have to redo second down. 24 seconds to go. Option play. Oh, what a stiff arm touchdown, TCU, Joe Douglas. The heavyweight. On the option, an incredible stiff arm ended that man's career on that play. And TCU will be within 3 at halftime. It's 2017 Broncos. Take a knee in the end zone. The Broncos have 18 seconds to see what they can do. Javari Johnson has 2 total yards in this game. It's been a pass-heavy game. Here's a big throw. What a catch on the sideline. James Smith. First down, Broncos. 14 seconds to go. A combined 19 first downs in the first half. 11 for Boise, 8 for TCU. Yates throwing this one up there, incomplete. The frame rate dropped for a bit. Right in the hands of the receiver, but he drops it. 273 yards to 201. 10 seconds to go. Ball at their own 48. Throwing. Can't get the first. Timeout Broncos. 5 seconds remaining. In the half. Are they gonna heave it? They'll try the bomb! Bobbled incomplete. And Boise will enter halftime with a 3-point lead. 20-17 the score at half. What a game so far. I will be right back momentarily.
Presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. David Pollock and I here in the studio to break down everything that just happened in your game. This game's been everything we anticipated it being. Each team matching each other blow for blow. Just a one-possession game at this point. What do you expect to change things in the second half?
Well, it's always fun to watch two teams and two games match up the hype. We talked about it all week and how big this game is, and it's going to come down to players making plays. And you know, the big play is something that we continue to beat into the ground. And which one doesn't give that up? A lot of times, you know, games are lost and won by turnovers and giving it away and making that crucial mistake. You can do everything right and you can execute right, but it just takes that one misstep, that one turnover to really put you in a bad position or a bad situation that can determine this game. That's what it looks like it's going through. Both teams executing well. Who's going to make a big mistake?
I can only hope that Nestler and Herbstreit will bring the same type of intensity to their call of the second half that David and I brought to the half.
I'm the one with the intense calling.
That's it for us here in the studio.
Because what an intense game it is. Nearly 500 combined yards in this game at halftime. And we're just getting started. TCU gets the ball back here. Touchback. And 12 minutes of clock. How much? It's bend, don't break on defense. Avery McKay gets 8 on the solo run. Who breaks first? TCU can take the lead. See your second and 2. Keeper. McKay will get to about the 44-yard line. Throwing on a screen. Brian Foster will get to midfield. We're going to push out at the 49. Throwing quick on a screen. Is that enough for the first down? Yes, it is. Brian Foster once again. Another keeper. They're running in a lot, and there's some room to the 25. There he is. Took a moment for him to be down. McKay with the running ability. Only a yard for Lee Langford. Throwing this one short. Justin Gray gets 6 yards. Danny Singer in chat, just say anything interesting, I'll comment on it. Here's the option play. Fumble the ball! Oh, but it's ruled incomplete. And they'll tie it with a field goal.
TCU is down 3 and looking to tie it up.
Kick is up, and it's good. We are now tied at 20. And now it's Boise's turn in this scoring tennis match. Take a knee on the R. We got some clinching games, even more so thanks to last week. Or thanks to some of the mayhem this week. Border showdown, Missouri taking down Kansas. There's a throw for the first down. Sheds a tackler. He's still going. 40 down to the 30. He's pushed down at about the 31. Travis Garcia. Have yourself a day. Gave a bit of a shimmy there. And then he's forced out of bounds. First and 10 at the TCU 30. Here's Yates. Throwing over the middle. Had to reach for it, but Peter Sparks gets a 3-yard gain. Second and 7. Yates. Lining up in the shotgun. One man to his left. Keeper. Oh, he jukes him out, and he's got room down to the 10. Number 16 at Cameron Yates, one of the most successful quarterbacks in the illustrious Bronco history. Arkansas, as we'll note, won their first game of the season over East Carolina. For those who don't know, there's a sack. Brian Kemp with the first sack for TCU. For those who don't know, Arkansas is in the Conference USA. They joined along with Houston, Rice, and SMU after the Southwest Conference disbanded. One of the teams at the time was TCU. Travis Garcia, a yard short of a touchdown. TCU had a stint in the Conference USA. Boise had their longest stint in the WAC. As there's a handoff. Aaron Dickens, touchdown, Broncos. Boise State, a member of the Big West from 1996 to 2000 when the conference folded. They joined the WAC in 2001. They were a member of that conference up until 2011 when they joined the Mountain West. They've played TCU once before. That was in 2009. Both Boise and TCU were in the top 10 in that game. Boise was number 4 in the country. TCU then was number 8. This is the first time tonight that both teams are in the top 5. Boise State is currently the number 2 team in the country. TCU is number 4. As you see some highlights. Here's Joe Douglas. This is my highlight of the game. What a stiff arm on that play. And he gets in for the touchdown. TCU's got to try and tie it. 2:33 to go in the third. From their own 25. On the screen. Intercepted. He's got blockers. Pick 6. Paul Mayhew with a pick 6. And once again, this game is a 2-score game. This time it's Boise who's in the lead. Extra point converts.
Boise State is lining up to kick this one off. And he got all of this one. Great.
And TCU will have to try again.
This one's going to be down in the end zone.
This time, much more dire.
Let's see how the defense responds now, coming off that big play just a moment ago.
This quarterback needs to be a little bit more careful because this defense is excellent.
Hand off and it'll lose yards. Lee Langford loses 5. Sam Martin with a tackle for a loss. Plus a tackle, more of a shove.
From their own 20-yard line. Second down.
Can McKay and TCU get themselves out of this hole? Throw over the middle, caught. It'll get 6 yards, 3rd and 10. A crucial 3rd down, if ever there was one. Throwing this one to the sideline, caught. Justin Gray, 1st down, Horned Frogs.
First and 10. Ball on their own 38.
1st and 10 for the Frogs. A loss of 2 for Lee Langford. Lee Langford has nothing going on today. The winner will face Wyoming in Denver for the Mountain West Championship game. Short on the screen. Oh, he's got room. 14-yard reception for Lee Langford. 1st down, as Super Frog approves. .109 to go in the 3rd. Handoff to Joe Douglas. Nothing. On the segue I mentioned earlier, I got my COVID vaccine as well as my flu shot. Get vaccinated, kids. That's today's sponsorship segment for today. As here's Joe Douglas losing a yard on the play. 3rd and 11. TCU once again in a crucial spot.
And they'll look to convert here on another 3rd down.
50-50 3rd down from their 50-yard line. McKay with time to throw. Throws it over the middle. Caught. And Brian Foster gets the 1st. Once again, the TCU receiving core and Avery McKay coming in clutch on 3rd down. 26 seconds to go in the quarter.
This is the 9th play of this drive.
They're down 2 scores after that pick 6 left them in a hole. Throwing incomplete. That's well over 600 combined yards of offense. The clock is running. 3rd and 11. And once again, TCU in a must-convert situation. Are they going to convert in the 3rd, or are they going to wait for the 4th quarter? They will. Clock will run out. The score right now, Boise State 34, TCU 20 after 3. There's the pick from Mayhew that shifted this game from back and forth to TCU in a crucial situation, as they are here. They're going to need something big. Pressure coming. He'll throw it. Caught. What a catch. Barrett Bryant with his 2nd reception. Right on the sideline, over the shoulder. 1st down, Frogs. We're in the 4th quarter. You got to hurry. Clock's still running. Hand off, nothing. Joe Douglas will lose 4. This is not a running backs game tonight.
From the 15-yard line. Second down.
Douglas will get 3. And now you got to convert again. 3rd and 12.
Here's play number 14 of this drive.
Throwing over the end zone. Touchdown, TCU. Mark Morton, number 14 with a touchdown. There's still life in Fort Worth. It'll be 34-27 with the PAT. Well, you got to get a stop now. And Boise, nearly impossible to stop on offense. The one team that was able to stuff them for a decent amount of time was Oregon.
This is a pretty crucial series right here. With things being so tight, your best players have to step it up on both sides of the ball. Boise State is up a score.
Handoff, stuffed. A loss of 1 on the play for Javari Johnson. Aaron Turner with the TFL. Second and 11, 5 wide. Yates alone in the backfield. Pressure coming. He'll throw it. Incomplete. He'll throw it out of bounds. Great job by the TCU pass rush. 3rd and 11. He'll heave it. Intercepted. And it's going the other way. Joseph Meade leaping over 2 guys. Number 17 was on it as well. Double covered. And TCU, a touchdown from tying it. They got just under 5 minutes to work with. As there's the handoff to Lee Langford. He's got room inside the 40. Pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Avery McKay brought down on the play action. Rodney Riley with the sack. Sacks have been rare this game. Both of these teams have pretty good offensive lines, which have allowed for this pass game to be possible for both of these teams. But this is going to put TCU once again in a hole that they're going to have to pull a trick out from their magic hat. There's a throw. And he'll get to the 30. Matt Tyson with 15 yards, 3rd and 3. Four minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Clock's ticking. It'll be under 4 minutes. TCU a very nice 6 of 9 on 3rd down. Handoff. That's enough for the first for Lee Langford. Inside the 15. TCU has 2 touchdowns in the red zone. They're going to need another one to tie the game with 3:40 remaining. Handoff to Langford. Stuffed. The TFL going to Sean Hubbard, the man in the trenches. And then you don't go anywhere. This is shaping to be a classic. Pressured. He'll be sacked again. The whole defense came after him. James Lindsay is credited with the sack. But how many people were near him? 3 guys. And then a 4th just at the end. Completely swarmed on that play. 3rd and 21. 7 of 10 on 3rd down. But this is the biggest one they're going to have to convert all day. McKay heaving this one. Incomplete. It'll be 4th and 21. And they're going to try for a field goal. They would need to go on sides or get a stop. And they will get it. 34-30 to score. Must have thought that there's too much time to go for it.
Boise State's expertise carrying the football is what we thought was going to be in the spotlight today, and here's been the passing game instead. Yeah, we really thought this running back would have one of those days you remember for a long time.
3 minutes to go for Boise to try and ice this game. Pressure coming. He'll throw this one. Caught. To about the 28. Everything kind of stops when they don't bring him down automatically. 2nd and 7. I think they're going to run it here. They're letting the clock go down. TCU, all their timeouts. .215. Throwing on a screen. Intercepted! He's going to have room! Inside the 5. Justin Rose. Is he the hero for TCU? First and goal. The handoff. Stuffed. A loss of 2 for Langford as he's brought down by Paul Mayhew, who had the pick 6 that shifted this game in the Broncos' favor before. 2 minutes to go. To remain alive in a national championship hunt. A gain of 1. TCU, again, all their timeouts on the board. 1:44 to go. They're 7 of 11 on 3rd down. Looking, he'll throw to the end zone. Touchdown, TCU! Barrett Bryant, with 1:30 to go, is going to give the Horned Frogs a 3-point lead. And the kick is good. Oh, he's got room on the sideline. What a run. He's still going to the 50. 1:22 to go, and Boise State, now they're in a dire situation. They need a field goal to tie it. A touchdown will give them the lead. From their own 49, they'll rule it. 1st and 10. They're going to go 5 wide here. Yates. Pressure coming, he'll throw. Short of the 1st, James Smith will get 8 yards. Does get out of bounds, so the clock will stop. Both teams with all their timeouts. Throwing over the middle. Caught off the helmet of another player. It bounced off and into the hands of Evan Davis. Minute 10 to go. A combined 31 first downs in this game. Hit as he's thrown to Johnson. Timeout Broncos, 2nd and 10. 58 seconds to go. To remain unbeaten. Throwing. Short again. Timeout Broncos. Ricky Williams with the reception. 3rd and 9. Yates surveying the field. Heaving this one deep. Incomplete. And now it's decision time. And they're going to try for the long field goal to tie the game and maybe force overtime in Fort Worth, Texas. Kicks on the way, and it's good. We're tied at 37. The kick's away. It'll be deep within the end zone. Touchback TCU. And it's the Frogs' turn to try and win the game. But they'll only have 46 seconds to do it. Here's McKay in the pocket. Plenty of time to throw. Pressure's coming. He'll heave it over the middle. Wide open. First down, Frogs. To the 35. And they can try for a field goal. They're going to run a play. Throwing over the middle. Has a man to the 15. Boise with only one timeout. The clock will run all the way down. They're going to try for the win. The clock will run out. They won't get a chance to run the play. The regulation is over. We're going to overtime. Coin flip. TCU wins. They'll choose defense first. We did have a Mountain West game go to overtime earlier on 2KU Saturdays. If you remember the week 3 game between BYU and Minnesota. This is when they were both ranked. There's a throw. Immediately, Evan Davis scores for Boise State. On the first play of overtime, Boise takes the lead. It'll be 44-37. Can the Frogs respond and spoil? Can they spoil Boise's potential national championship hopes while setting up their own? Here's McKay. Throwing this one to the end zone. Not to the end zone, pardon me. But Barrett Bryant will get 24 yards on the play. And they can punch it in. But the Broncos are going to need a stop. Handoff, stuffed. Lee Langford will lose 3. Second and goal for the Horned Frogs. If you're just joining in, we're in overtime. 44-37 the score right now for Boise in the lead. And punching it in is Lee Langford. Touchdown, TCU. And once again, it's decision time. Do you go for the kill? They will not. Boise and TCU will be going to double overtime if this goes through, and it does. An all-time classic being played tonight in Fort Worth, Texas. Now TCU will get the ball first as we are in double overtime. Pressure coming on the left side. He'll throw this one up there. Incomplete. He couldn't stay in bounds.
Unfortunately for him, he couldn't get a foot down in bounds.
TCU throwing this one up there. Brian Foster gets 18 yards. McKay with the throw. Foster with the catch. McKay is 25 for 32, 382 yards through the air. This is what it's like to see two of the best teams in the nation square off. This is what you want to see. A lot better than the matchup earlier between Oklahoma State and Baylor, if you remember that. That one got out of hand quick. There's the throw short. Stopped. Cooper stopped a yard short. Mike Cooper with the reception. The room down at the 3. Paul Mayhew, the big defensive star for Boise tonight, gets the ruling. There's the handoff. Touchdown, TCU. Lee Langford once again coming through. 50-44 the score. Super Frog will go for push-ups. He'll be there a while, won't he? 51-44. Hey, Danny, remember when you calculated push-ups for Dave's show? As here's Boise's chance. Yates throwing over the middle. Has a man! Peter Sparks inside the 5. We've had some long games in this series before. We had a 5 overtime game in the Insight Bowl last year, a 3 overtime game in the Fiesta Bowl, another 3 overtime game in that Minnesota BYU game we mentioned before. Here's the handoff. Javari Johnson is going to be a yard short of the end zone. It'll be 2nd and goal. And now is the question for Boise. If you score, do you go for the kill? Option play. The pitch won't get in. Now you got to get crafty. 3rd and goal from the 3. The roll at the 2. Here it is. Do or die potential for Boise. Throwing that one short. He'll get the touchdown. Peter Sparks. The tight end gets in there.
Can you believe this? It appears 2 overtimes just aren't enough for these young men. This has just been amazing.
2 overtimes. Are we going to a 3rd? We most likely are if this goes through. If you remember the rules, after 2 overtimes, you have to go for 2. And it keeps going until somebody gets the upper hand. Here's Boise. 1st and 10 in overtime number 3. Looking. He'll throw it up there. Touchdown, Travis Garcia. Who else for the Broncos? But the big receiver has been making big plays all day, and now you got to go for 2.
So the offense will stay on the field and attempt the 2-point conversion. Boise State.
You only get one chance at this. Throwing. There's Sparks. They got it. 59-51. We're over 100 points in this game. And now it's TCU's turn. Not only do they have to score, they have to get the 2-pointer. Here's the throw. Broken up. The receiver had it. It was swatted out of his hands. McKay throwing a lot shorter. There's Gray on the sideline for a 4-yard gain. McKay with blockers. He'll run it. Just enough for the first down. 8-yard gain. What? Look at that. 22 first downs to 15. That's combined 37. Pressure coming. He'll throw short on a screen to Langford. A 7-yard gain. This is going to be enshrined as one of the best games we've ever seen in this series. Without a doubt. McKay. Heaving it up there. Intercepted! Boise wins! A jump ball! That's Lawrence! Boise State is going to Denver! As there's the pick six that shifted the momentum earlier in this game. And there was an interception. Who would have thought that in this battle between the two best offenses, it was the defense who would decide this? Oh, we're in the ground now. Boise State leaves TCU stunned. Cameron Yates has nearly 400 yards, 30 for 39, 5 touchdowns. An all-time legendary game, 59-51 in 3 overtimes. And the Boise State Broncos remain the number 2 team in the nation. No fault to TCU. They played their hearts out in this game. A tremendous effort on both sides, but one team had to give, and in this case, it was the Frogs and Boise State. They will play Wyoming for the Mountain West Championship in Denver. TCU has Baylor next on their schedule. Boise State will play New Mexico. FPI gives the Broncos an over 90% chance to win that game. TCU, a lot less likely to win theirs. We got to check out these stats. They better be incredible. Here's the scoring summary. 59-51 the final score. We had 3 overtimes in this game. Looking at the player stats, Avery McKay had 397 yards through the air, 20 for 37, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. One of them sealed the game. For Boise, Cameron Yates, both these quarterbacks, seniors, NFL will love this class. I'll think 192 passer rating, 30 for 39, 390 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks on the day. Rushing in Aaron Dickens. Cameron Yates was actually the best rusher for the Broncos. 38 yards. Everyone else combining for 15 total yards. But Cameron Yates had a 26-yard run earlier on in the game. Aaron Dickens had a rushing touchdown. Same with TCU. Not a lot of running there. A lot more, though, than the Broncos ended up having. 70 yards for quarterback Avery McKay. 26 for Lee Langford. And 11 for Joe Douglas. Douglas had a touchdown. Langford had 2 on the ground. Receiving was where it was at. Justin Gray had 8 receptions, 106 yards. The leader in yards was Matt Tyson, who also had a touchdown on the day, as well as the longest reception for the Horned Frogs of a 74-yarder. He had 5 catches. A touchdown also went to Barrett Bryant and Mark Morton. For Boise, 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm going to give a nod potentially for player of the week to Travis Garcia. A great performance in this game. Javari Johnson, the sophomore from Abilene, Texas. Next is, of course, the Heisman finalist. He had a better day receiving than he did with rushing. Evan Davis had 75 yards with 2 touchdowns. And a touchdown as well went to the tight end, Peter Sparks. Not a lot to talk about defensively. Luis Simmons had 11 tackles, 2 TFLs. James Lindsay had 6 tackles, 3 TFLs. A pick for Paul Mayhew and another one for the sophomore Devin Lawrence from Diamond Bar, California. We didn't even mention him in the summary. And that was the pick that sealed the game. In terms of sacks, we had Rodney Riley and James Lindsay both getting some. Total tackles for TCU was led by Brian Kemp and Aaron Turner, who both had 8. 3 TFLs for both Kemp and Turner, with 1 each for Lawrence Roth, Josh Brown, Eric Young, and Ryan Tremblay. Only 1 sack in this game. That was Kemp as well. And there was also the interception that gave the Frogs life by Joseph Meade from Violet, Louisiana. Let's look at the team stats on this one. Actually, before we do, I want to see kicking. Drew Jackson had 3 on the day. It was 3 for 3 on the field goal. The longest was a 43-yarder, and Boise State 3 for 3 as well. A 47-yarder was the longest for Brian McMahon from Beverly Hills. 59-51 the final score. 22-15 the final tally for first downs. 496 yards to 451. 107 rushing yards for TCU. Only 53 for Boise. 28-37-3 versus 30-39-5. In terms of passing yards, Boise barely edging it out. 398 to 389. Boise was only 44% on third down, 4 for 9. TCU was 9 for 13, ending with a pretty nice 69%. In the red zone, TCU was 77%, not helped by that crucial pick at the end of the game. Oh, Dave Show just uploaded. I'll have to tell him about the classic we saw tonight. 2 turnovers for each team, both interceptions. I believe both had a pick 6, if I'm correct. In terms of total yards, 518 to 515. Over 1,000 combined yards. Oh, and how fitting. I got a notification from ESPN that Boise State beat Wyoming IRL. And that will be the matchup we'll see in Denver in 2 weeks' time. In terms of time of possession, TCU is the leader. And we will be on our way. Next week is rivalry week. We, of course, have all the classic games. Ohio State, Michigan will definitely be one to watch out for. If Ohio State stuns the Wolverines, that means Notre Dame gets into the Big Ten championship game. Of course, you got to watch out for Houston-Rice. Doesn't seem like that big a game, but if Houston loses and Rice wins, that means Memphis is into the conference championship game if they win their game. Looking a little smaller, Danny, of course, told me about Western Carolina, who's currently in the lead in the SoCon South Division, the Eagles need App State to beat the Catamounts next week in the battle for the Jug. As we'll look once more at our stats, 22-15 the first downs, 107 rushing yards to 53, 398 to 389, 4 combined turnovers. TCU edging out in time of possession. Our players of the game, Avery McKay, 28 for 37, 397 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 carries for 70 yards. Brian Kemp on defense, 8 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a sack. Cameron Yates was 30 for 39, 390 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 carries for 38 yards as well. And Paul Mayhew on defense, 6 tackles, a TFL, and the pick 6. And that will wrap up what might be one of the best games we've ever played in this series. Thank you all for watching today's stream. Don't forget to tune in to 2KU Weekly tomorrow night, where we'll be, of course, revealing the top 25. I have a thing planned as well for the Division II and Division III playoffs. They will get their reveals that week. Just a bit of world building. And hopefully my mic will work. It hasn't been working the last 2KU Weeklies. I think I might know what's the problem, but I'll get into OBS and fix that. Thank you for your patience. We will see you next week.